Hey coin lovers, treasure hunters, and curious minds, welcome back to the channel where every coin has a story and every penny could be a hidden gem. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 2003 Lincoln 1-cent coin, a small copper beauty that might be sitting in your pocket right now, worth more than you think. This tiny cent could be worth up to $20.01, and believe it or not, it's all because of its history, condition, and rare varieties. So stay tuned, you won't want to miss a second of this. Chapter 1. The Legacy of the Lincoln Cent. Let's rewind the clock. The Lincoln cent has been a part of American history since 1909. That year marked the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and the U.S. Mint decided to honor him with a coin, making it the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. Since then, the Lincoln cent has gone through a few design tweaks, material changes, and minting processes, but one thing remains constant: it's a collector's favorite. And that includes the 2003 penny, which at first glance may seem ordinary, but under the surface, it holds a story worth more than a few cents. Now, the 2003 Lincoln cent is part of what's known as the Lincoln Memorial Reverse Design Series, which ran from 1959 to 2008. On the obverse, you've got Abraham Lincoln's iconic profile, designed by Victor David Brenner, and on the reverse, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, crafted by Frank Gasparo. But what makes the 2003 version unique? That's where things get interesting. Chapter 2. 2003 Lincoln Cent Specifications. Before we get into value, let's break down the basics of the 2003 Lincoln Cent. Composition: 97.5% zinc, 2.5% copper coating. Weight: 2.5 grams. Diameter: 19.05 millimeters. Edge plain. Mint marks: Philadelphia no mint mark and Denver D mint mark. Mintage: over 3.3 billion from Philadelphia and 3.5 billion from Denver. With billions minted, it's easy to assume this penny is common. But collectors know the secret sauce is all about condition, mint mark, and errors. And that's where the 2003 cent gets spicy. Chapter 3. Rare Varieties and Valuable Errors. Now let's talk about the real treasure, the rare varieties and errors. If you've got a 2003 penny with one of these traits, you could be holding a coin worth hundreds or even thousands. Double die errors. Some 2003 pennies have noticeable doubling, especially on the Liberty lettering or the date. These are caused during the striking process and are extremely collectible. Off-center strikes. If the design looks like it's sliding off the edge, that's an off-center error. The more off-center, the rarer and more valuable it is, especially if the date is still visible. Clipped planchet errors. These coins are missing a chunk from the edge, usually caused when the coin blank is improperly cut. Die cracks and cuds. These happen when the die used to strike the coin breaks or chips, leaving raised lines or blobs on the surface of the coin. High-grade specimens. A flawless 2003 cent graded MS-67 or higher by PCGS or NGC could fetch $50 to $200 or more depending on demand and quality. That's right, even a penny can pack serious value if it's in pristine condition or has one of these wild minting mistakes. Chapter 4. Current market value. Now for the question on everyone's mind: what's it worth today? Let's break it down. Circulated condition. Most 2003 pennies you find in change are worth 1 to 3 cents, slightly more than face value. Uncirculated condition. If the coin has never been used and has a beautiful red luster, it could be worth 10 cents to $1. Mint state MS-67 plus. Auction records show these gems can sell for $20.01, and sometimes even more, depending on the mint and condition. Rare error coins. Depending on the error, they could fetch $50, $100, or several $100s. The market for error coins and high-grade specimens is alive and booming. With collectors always on the hunt, demand is strong, especially for eye-catching mistakes and coins in perfect condition. Chapter 5. How to find them. You don't have to be a millionaire to start collecting. All it takes is a sharp eye and maybe a magnifying glass. Start by checking your spare change. Look closely at each 2003 penny for errors, doubling, or off-center strikes. Then check the color. Red pennies that shine like they're fresh from the mint are worth more. Want to take it further? Visit local coin shops, attend coin shows, or even explore online marketplaces like eBay and heritage auctions. You'll find tons of collectors buying and selling 2003 Lincoln cents, especially ones with that magical MS67 or higher grade. Chapter 6. Tips for Collectors. Here's a pro tip: if you think you've got a valuable 2003 penny, don't clean it. I repeat, never clean your coins. Cleaning can actually lower their value. Instead, store them in a coin flip airtight capsule or a professional album. And if you really think it's rare, consider sending it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate and assign a grade, which makes your coin much more attractive to serious buyers. Coin collecting is about patience, passion, and attention to detail. And sometimes, that passion pays off big time. So the next time you find a penny on the ground, don't ignore it, pick it up and check the date. That 2003 Lincoln cent could be worth more than lunch, more than gas. It might just be a treasure hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of the 2003 Lincoln 1-cent coin, give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe for more coin collecting content, and hit that bell so you never miss a future treasure hunt. Until next time, keep those eyes sharp, your hands steady, and your pockets jingling with history. Thanks for watching. Happy hunting, my dears coin lovers and treasure hunters. Now we're diving deep into one of the most overlooked yet potentially valuable coins you might just have in your pocket right now, the 2003 1-cent Liberty coin from the United States. At first glance, it might seem like just another regular Lincoln cent. But trust me, the deeper we go, the more you'll see why this humble penny could be worth far more than 1 cent. Some of these are fetching up to 17 cents or more in today's collector market, and certain rare varieties are worth even more. So grab your coin jar, and let's get into the history, details, and true worth of the 2003 Lincoln penny. Let's start with the basics. The 2003 1-cent coin is officially known as the Lincoln Memorial Cent. It's part of the longest-running coin series in U.S. history, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. The Lincoln cent marked a major change in U.S. coinage, as it was the first regular-issue coin to feature a real historical figure. Up until then, only symbolic female figures like Liberty had graced the faces of our coins. Now, fast forward to 2003. That year, the Denver Mint struck over 3.5 billion Lincoln cents. That's right, billion with a B. Each of these coins bore the familiar bust of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, designed by Victor David Brenner, a design that had remained largely unchanged for nearly a century. But what makes the 2003 Lincoln penny special? Why are collectors paying attention to it now? The D Mint mark below the year stands for the Denver Mint. It's one of the major mints in the United States, and it's known for producing some extremely high-quality coins. The 2003 cent is composed primarily of zinc, coated with a thin layer of copper, just like all post-1982 pennies. It weighs 2.5 grams and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. But let's move beyond the technical specs. Even though billions were made, not all 2003 pennies are created equal. Most of these coins have been used in daily commerce and are heavily worn. But some lucky individuals have stumbled across uncirculated examples, coins that somehow avoided being passed around and still shine like the day they were minted. These high-grade examples, especially those graded MS65 and above by professional grading services, can sell for more than 17 cents and sometimes up to a few dollars at auctions or collector marketplaces. Even more fascinating are the error coins. That's right, error coins. Coins with misprints, double dies, off-center strikes, or other minting mistakes are rare and highly collectible. A double die of verse, for example, can cause the date or the letters in Liberty and In God We Trust to appear doubled, a visual glitch that collectors absolutely love. If you happen to own a 2003 penny with such a defect, its value could easily jump into the tens or even hundreds of dollars depending on condition and rarity. So how can you tell if your 2003 penny is valuable? First, check its condition. A coin in brilliant, uncirculated condition with no scratches, discoloration, or signs of wear is already worth more than its face value. Collectors use a grading scale from 1 to 70, with MS 60 and above being considered mint state. Coins at MS 65 or MS 66 are excellent, and may fetch up to a few dollars. Second, look for errors. Examine the coin under a magnifying glass. Is the lettering crisp and even? Or does it look like some letters or numbers are doubled or oddly shaped? If you find something unusual, it might be worth getting the coin professionally graded. Grading services like PCGS and NGC are trusted names in the coin world. Getting your coin authenticated and graded could be the difference between earning 17 cents or $17. Let's talk about the current market value. According to the latest reports from online coin markets and collectors' forums, a regular circulated 2003 penny usually sells for around its face value, but high-grade specimens can go for between 17 and 50 cents. Certain MS67 or MS68 coins have sold for even more. Error coins with clear doubling, off-center strikes, or unique flaws have been listed for hundreds. Here's a breakdown of current average values. Circulated condition, 1 to 5 cents. Uncirculated MS60 MS64, 10 to 25 cents. High-grade MS65 MS67, 30 cents to several dollars. Error coins, from $5 to over $100 depending on rarity and demand. That means your little copper-colored coin could be worth more than 17 times its face value or even more if it's a rare gem. So, the next time you see a penny on the ground or dig through your change jar, don't overlook it. That 2003 Lincoln cent might just be a hidden treasure. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a casual collector, it's always thrilling to discover that something so small could be worth more than you ever expected. Thanks for joining me today on this coin adventure. If you enjoyed learning about the 2003 1 cent Liberty coin and its surprising value, give this video a like, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell for more rare coin insights and stories. Got a special coin you want us to cover? Drop it in the comments below. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and keep the passion alive. My dears coin collectors, history buffs, and treasure hunters. Now, we're diving deep into the incredible story of one of the most common and yet surprisingly valuable modern coins in American pockets. The 2005 1 cent Liberty USA coin, better known as the 2005 Lincoln cent. It might look like just another penny to most people, but to the trained eye and the curious mind, it's a tiny piece of American heritage. And in some cases, it could be worth a lot more than 1 cent. So buckle up, because we're going on a journey through history, design, minting, errors, rarity, collector demand, and real-world value. Whether you found this coin in your pocket or inherited a jar from Grandpa's collection, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what it's worth and why. Chapter 1. The story behind the coin. The 2005 1 cent coin features the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, proudly placed on the obverse or head side of the coin. This design was first introduced in 1909, making the Lincoln cent the longest-running coin design in U.S. history. The original design came out to honor Lincoln's 100th birthday. It replaced the Indian head cent, and it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure rather than an allegorical Lady Liberty. The 2005 version, like many from the modern era, retains Victor David Brenner's classic portrait of Lincoln, but with some small updates over time. You'll see "I in God We Trust" inscribed above his head, Liberty to the left, and the date 2005 to the right. Just below the year, there's a small D mint mark, which means this coin was minted in Denver. Chapter 2. What makes the 2005 penny special? Now you might be thinking, what's so special about a coin minted in the billions? Well, the truth is, not all pennies are created equal. The 2005 penny marks an era where quality control at the Denver Mint was generally good, but errors still slipped through. Combine that with rising interest in collecting modern coins, and you have the ingredients for value. Even though over 4 billion of these pennies were struck in Denver that year, yes, billion with a B, some examples stand out. Collectors and experts search for mint state coins in perfect condition, errors and varieties, full red copper toning, striking abnormalities. All of these can increase the coin's market value far beyond its humble 1-cent face. Chapter 3. Composition and Design Details. Let's look at the physical makeup of the coin. The 2005 Lincoln cent is made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating. That's right, since 1982, pennies have mostly been zinc on the inside. Gone are the days of heavy all-copper cents. This change was made due to the rising cost of copper, which made it more expensive to mint a penny than it was worth. This means 2005 pennies are lightweight, only about 2.5 grams, and they're slightly more prone to corrosion if damaged, especially around the edges where the copper coating might wear off. On the reverse, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, a design that was introduced in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. If you look closely, you can actually see a tiny statue of Lincoln sitting inside the memorial, a detail that amazed many collectors when first introduced. Chapter 4. Valuable Varieties and Errors. Here's where things get really interesting. While most 2005 pennies are common, some are worth much more due to rare mint errors. Let's talk about a few of the ones to watch for. 1. Double die errors, DDO or DDR. Sometimes during the minting process, the die strikes the coin more than once but slightly misaligned. This can create a doubling effect on letters, numbers, or design features. A 2005 penny with a doubled liberty or date can fetch $20 to $150 or more, depending on condition and severity. 2. Off-center strikes. Coins that are struck off-center are highly collectible. If a 2005 penny has, say, 10% to 40% off-center but still shows a full date and mint mark, it could sell for $25 to $100. 3. Die cracks and cuds. Sometimes, cracks in the die cause raised lines or blobs on the coin's surface. A visible cut, a big blob near the rim, can be valued at $10 to $30, especially if it doesn't interfere with major design features. 4. BIE errors. Named for a tiny die crack between the B and E in Liberty that looks like an I. These are collectible and fun finds, worth a few dollars each. Chapter 5. Grading and Value. Condition is everything in coin collecting. A typical 2005 penny that has been circulated is usually worth 1 cent. But in uncirculated mint state, prices begin to climb. Let's break it down. MS60 to MS63 entry level uncirculated, around 10 to 15 cents. MS64 to MS65, these are cleaner coins, often with full red coloring, worth 25 to 75 cents. MS66, getting rarer, could sell for $1 to $5. MS67 and higher, very rare for modern coins. These can sell for $20 to $50 or more, especially with perfect copper luster and sharp strikes. Even though the average value is around 15 cents in uncirculated grade, those with perfect surfaces and brilliant red color are highly desired. Some slabbed and graded examples by PCGS or NGC in top condition have even crossed the $100 mark at auction when tied to varieties or near perfect grades. Chapter 6. Market Demand and Long-Term Potential. The modern coin market is booming. With more people entering the hobby during the past decade, especially during economic uncertainty, even common modern coins like the 2005 Lincoln cent are gaining attention. Collectors often build entire albums of Lincoln cents from 1909 to today, so every date and mint mark combination like the 2005 is part of that puzzle. Plus, younger collectors are discovering coins in circulation and looking them up online, which increases demand and awareness. As of today, A well-preserved 2005 penny could fetch 15 cents to several dollars and far more if it's an era coin or in perfect condition. So there you have it, the complete story of the 2005 1 cent Liberty USA coin. A coin that may seem ordinary, but when you look a little closer, is full of history, beauty, and hidden value. Next time you get change from the store or dig through your old piggy bank, keep your eyes open. That little copper-colored coin could be worth more than you ever imagined. Make sure to check for uncirculated condition, rare errors, full red toning, strong strikes with visible details. And if you find one in exceptional condition or with an unusual feature, consider getting it graded. You might just have a hidden gem worth $10, $50, or even more. Thanks for watching. If you learned something new, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more coin deep dives, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our next treasure hunt. Until next time, happy collecting! My very respectable coin lovers and curious collectors. Now we're diving deep into the world of United States coinage, and trust me, you'll want to watch this one until the very end. Because we're talking about a coin you might have right now in your pocket, your piggy bank, or tucked away in an old jar in your garage. This little copper-colored coin may seem ordinary at first glance, but there's more to it than meets the eye. I'm talking about the 2006 1 cent Liberty coin, yes, the humble Lincoln penny minted in Denver in 2006. Stick around, because we're going to uncover its fascinating history, reveal how it could be worth more than face value, and break down the market prices that might surprise you. Let's get started. Chapter 1. A penny with presidential legacy, the history behind the coin. The coin we know today as the 1 cent Liberty coin is officially part of the Lincoln cent series, which began in 1909. That's right, over a century ago, the U.S. Mint made history by placing President Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, on the obverse side of the penny. It was the first time a real person appeared on a circulating American coin, and who better than the man who led the nation through the Civil War and preserved the Union. By 2006, the Lincoln cent had already seen decades of circulation. The design by Victor David Brenner was still in place on the obverse, Lincoln's classic portrait facing right, the word Liberty to the left of him, and the date 2006 stamped clearly on the right, with the D mint mark underneath indicating it was minted in Denver, Colorado. On the reverse side, the Lincoln Memorial, standing tall and symbolic. Look closely, you can even see the statue of Lincoln between the columns, a tiny tribute to the man himself. Chapter 2. The making of the 2006 1 cent coin. Now let's talk production numbers, and they are big. In 2006, the Denver Mint struck 3.94 billion Lincoln pennies. That's billion with a B. That makes this one of the most common modern coins you can find, which might make you wonder, how can it be worth more than 1 cent? We'll get to that. But first, let's break down the physical makeup. The 2006 penny is made primarily of zinc, 97.5% zinc to be exact, with just a thin copper plating that gives it that familiar reddish tone. This was a shift from the earlier copper-based pennies produced before 1982. These modern pennies weigh just 2.5 grams, compared to the older 3.11 gram versions. Chapter 3. Value beyond face, what makes a penny worth more than a cent? So, you might be wondering, what makes the 2006 penny worth more than a single cent? The answer lies in condition, rarity, and error types. Let's break it down. Circulated 2006 pennies, the ones that have been through pockets, cash registers, and vending machines, are typically worth just 1 cent. But if your coin is uncirculated, meaning it looks fresh from the mint with no scratches, no wear, and full detail, you might be looking at 10 cents to 30 cents, and sometimes even more. And here's where it gets interesting: coins that are in mint state condition, especially those graded MS65 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, can sell for up to $7 or even more. But that's not the full story. Chapter 4. Rare errors that can make you rich. Coin collectors go crazy for mint errors, and the 2060 penny has a few interesting varieties that are worth hunting for. Double die errors. This happens when the coin is struck twice with a misaligned die, leading to a doubling effect. If you see doubled letters in Liberty or the date, get that coin appraised immediately. Off-center strikes. If part of Lincoln's head or the lettering is cut off due to a misalignment during minting, your coin might be worth $15, $25, or even over $100, depending on how off-center it is. Clipped planchets. A piece of the coin might be missing from the edge. These clipped error pennies are rare and highly collectible, often selling for $20 to $75. Die cracks and cuds. Small raised lines or blobs from damaged dies can also increase a penny's value, especially to error coin collectors. Chapter 5. The market today. What is the 2060 penny worth in 2025? As of this year, 2025, the average 2060 Lincoln cent in circulated condition is still worth 1 cent, but here's the twist: high-grade coins, even from a common year like 2006, are gaining popularity in the collector market. On online marketplaces like eBay, uncirculated 2060 pennies in pristine condition often sell for 13 cents to $1, and if it has a known error, the price can skyrocket. A rare MS-68 Plus example sold at auction for over $100, which is pretty impressive for a coin you might have dismissed as spare change. So, while the average 2060 penny might only be worth around 13 cents in mint state, certain versions with full red luster, sharp strike, or notable errors can be worth a whole lot more. It's all about grade, condition, and rarity. Chapter 6. What you should do. Tips for collectors. So, what should you do if you find a 2060 penny in your pocket change? 1. Don't spend it right away. Examine it carefully under good lighting. 2. Look for mint errors like doubling, off-center strikes, or planchet clips. 3. Check the condition. If it's sharp, clean, and shiny, it might be uncirculated. 4. Store it safely. Use coin flips or protective holders. 5. Consider professional grading if you think you've got something special. It could be the start of your coin collecting journey, or even bring in a nice little profit. So there you have it, the 2060 1-cent Liberty coin. A coin that may seem common, but can hold hidden treasures depending on its condition and uniqueness. Whether you're a casual collector or just curious about the change in your drawer, keep an eye out. You never know when a tiny penny could be worth more than meets the eye. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into coins that could be hiding in plain sight. Got a cool coin or a story to share? Drop it in the comments below, we'd love to hear it. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy hunting, and may your change bring you fortune. Dears coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. Now, in our last 1 cent in this video is 2011. We're diving into the incredible story behind a seemingly ordinary coin that you just might have in your pocket or piggy bank right now, the 2011 1-cent Liberty coin from the United States of America. But what if I told you, this tiny copper-colored coin, worth just 1 cent by face value, could actually be worth much more? Maybe even up to 10 times its value, or more, depending on what you've got. So sit back, relax, and get ready for a journey through history, design, rarity, and the surprising value of the 2011 1-cent Liberty coin. The year is 2011. The world is moving fast, technology is booming, smartphones are everywhere, and America is recovering from the effects of the global financial crisis. Amid all this change, something small but enduring keeps getting passed from hand to hand: the humble penny. But not just any penny, the 2011 Liberty 1-cent coin, a symbol of tradition, freedom, and national identity. This coin carries more than just monetary value, it carries history. Since 1909, Abraham Lincoln has graced the face of the U.S. penny, commemorating the centennial of his birth. And even in 2011, over a century later, his image still holds strong on the obverse of this little coin. His face, etched in copper-plated zinc, represents not just a man, but an era of emancipation, leadership, and the American spirit. On the obverse of the 2011 1-cent coin, you'll find Lincoln's solemn profile, the word Liberty stamped boldly beside him, and the trusted motto, "In God We Trust," arched above. Below Lincoln's bust lies the date 2011, and right next to it, you'll likely find a small letter, either a D for Denver or a P for Philadelphia, representing the mint where the coin was struck. But flip the coin, and there's even more to uncover. On the reverse, you'll see the majestic image of the Union Shield, a design introduced in 2010 to symbolize national unity. 13 vertical stripes represent the original colonies, bound by a horizontal bar inscribed with one powerful word, E pluribus unum, Latin for out of many, one. Above the shield, the words United States of America. Below it, 1 cent. Simple, strong, enduring. Now let's talk numbers. In 2011, the U.S. Mint struck over 5.6 billion pennies, yes, billion between the Philadelphia and Denver mints. That means these coins are fairly common in circulation, or are they? The truth is, while most of them were spent, dropped, forgotten, or worn down, a small number of them were kept in pristine condition by collectors, coin rolls, or simply by chance. That's where things get exciting. A 2011 1-cent coin in regular, circulated condition might still be worth just a penny. But a coin that's never been used, never scratched, never stained, what collectors call mint state, can fetch much more. And if it has a high grade, or features rare errors like misstrikes, double dies, or off-center designs, it could be worth 10 cents a dollar, or even a few $100s in extreme cases. Some lucky collectors have found 2011 pennies with doubled lettering, where the word Liberty or 1 cent appears shadowed or duplicated. Others have found coins with die cracks, die chips, or coins struck on foreign planchets. These are rare minting accidents that can drive up the value tremendously. The grading scale for coins goes from MS60 to MS70. A coin graded MS60 is uncirculated but may have many marks or dull luster. An MS65 is sharply struck with brilliant color and few marks. But an MS70? That's a perfect coin, flawless under 5x magnification. A 2011 penny graded MS67 or higher can easily sell for $5 to $15 or more online. In fact, one such coin even sold for over $200 at auction, thanks to its perfect preservation and full red coloration. And let's not forget the online marketplace. On platforms like eBay and heritage auctions, these coins change hands every day. A pristine 2011 penny from a sealed mint roll might go for 10 cents, 25 cents, or even $1. That's 10 to 100 times its face value. Not bad for a coin you might find on the street. So, how do you find one of these hidden gems? Simple. Start by checking your loose change. Use a magnifying glass to inspect your pennies for sharp details and errors. Keep the ones with shiny luster and full red color. And whatever you do, never clean your coins. Cleaning them actually destroys their value. Collecting 2011 Liberty 1-cent coins isn't just about making money, it's about preserving history. Every coin tells a story. A story of craftsmanship, circulation, and sometimes even of rare errors that make them one in a million. In conclusion, the 2011 1-cent Liberty USA coin is more than just a copper piece in your pocket. It's a tribute to Abraham Lincoln. It's a symbol of unity. And yes, it could be worth a lot more than 1 cent. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a curious beginner, this little coin might just be your gateway into a bigger, richer world of numismatics. So check your coins, you never know what treasure you're holding. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your fellow coin lovers, and subscribe for more incredible coin stories and values. Drop a comment below. Have you found a rare 2011 penny? We'd love to hear your story. Until next time, happy hunting, and may your pockets be full of treasure.